What's up guys, Thomas here and welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the smallest and most capable tiny Acro, yes, tiny Acro drone on the market. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so when you hear the Nazgul name, what do you think of? The first thing that comes to mind is a 5-inch Acro quad. Very capable, very affordable, high quality Acro quad. But in this case, you'd be terribly wrong. iFlight reintroduced this name in a totally new quad. So right here is the Nazgul. In this case, this is the baby Nazgul Nano. This thing here, I'm guessing is very small. Never have I opened a drone or unboxed a drone in a box this small. So let's get this thing open. Take a look at this. Here's my packing list, put that to the side. Got some stickers here, put that to the side. And we came for this. So a box in a box, and this box is even smaller. So pretty typical of iFlight with their boxes, very white with minimal information on the outside here. Let's see here, iFlight Baby Nazgul. This is the analog version. I don't even think they make a digital version. This is a very small light drone here. PMP plug and play. Just the BetaFlight version 4.2.8. So this is a really new drone actually. So it has the latest BetaFlight version on here. The date, which doesn't make any sense because that's in the future. It says August. So these things are just in the market. So very, very new. Anyways, let's get this open here. Just one tamper-proof seal. We'll just cut that open. There we go. All right, first thing we're greeted with is some props. These things are so tiny, guys. Kind of yellow, orangey color. You have iFlight, a screwdriver, looks like it, a Allen wrench, looks like some nylon nuts on here, like some nuts, and looks like a charger on here. So that's pretty cool. It includes a charger. You also have this looks like a micro USB to USB-A cable, which is good for syncing this up with BetaFlight. And here is, this thing is so tiny, guys. This thing is so small. Here's the drone. If you can see that, it's packaged pretty well. But anyways, let's get it out of here. This thing is so small. Wow. Nothing else is in here, just some foam. Put that to the side. And this thing, I've never seen a drone this small before, guys. This thing fits in the palm of my hand. I have big hands, but it is surprisingly small. Crazy small. So a few things I'm noticing here from the get-go. First of all, it is carbon fiber, which is pretty cool, not plastic, so they didn't skimp on the materials here. It is very light, which is good. I noticed that the camera here isn't adjustable, but yeah, you cannot adjust it, so you're stuck with this angle for now. So this probably will not be the best drone for indoor flying, although it's very small. Besides that, let's look under here. It's a single piece carbon fiber plate at the bottom, and this thing is so light. If you do crash this, I doubt you'll break the arms on this, so it is a single plate. I can see a VTX. There's a board, it looks like an all-in-one board here. So pretty cool. Here's your VTX antenna, pretty good. And your typical, I guess, PH 2.0 connecting. This is a one-cell drone. So let's go over a bit of the specs. So let's start with just the overall weight. This thing weighs 26 grams, so you're not gonna exceed the 250 gram weight restrictions imposed on certain countries or in the US. All right, this has a 63-inch wheelbase with I think a 35 millimeter prop. These are gem fan props here. It's cool that they have spares on here, different color if you want to change it up a little bit. As far as the motors, they're very, very small. iFlight uses these a lot. This is the 802s, and I think these are 22,000 kV, so they spin really, really fast. But I've never flown a drone this small. Actually, I have, and we'll get to that in a few minutes here. So as far as the flight controller, this is the F4 flight controller with a built-in receiver in here. You have numerous options as far as receivers. This one has FrSky D8 receiver in here, but there is an option for Crossfire on here. You can put a Crossfire Nano receiver on this. But the VTX is the next thing here. This is a standalone VTX, which is pretty good, but it is limited to 50 milliwatts. So you can adjust it. There's two power settings on here. 25 milliwatts and 50 milliwatts. That's the reason why I did not go with the Crossfire, because although Crossfire is really good, and I made a promise to myself that I was gonna go Crossfire from here on in the future, but it just didn't make any sense with this drone since I'm probably gonna outrange the VTX in this pretty easily, even with the FrSky receiver on here. All right, besides that, we talked about the camera on here initially. This is a non-adjustable. This is the RunCam Atom. I've never used this camera before. It's very, very small, very tiny. I think this thing weighs 1.7 grams, so barely nothing on here. It is analog. This drone only comes in analog version, so we're not gonna expect too much out of it, but at least it has a camera on here. There is some protection on here for the camera, so in case you do hit an object, a tree or something, it is protected. It's not gonna damage the actual lens on the camera, which is pretty good. All right, last but not least, which is the most obvious part of this, this uses a 1-cell battery. There's only one space for one here. So as I said, pH 2.0 connector on here. Hopefully we get 3.5, 4 minutes on this. That's my goal. If I can get 4 minutes out of this, I'll be happy. Besides that, there's no space for a camera, obviously. This thing is, as I said, 26 grams without a battery on here. So it's gonna vary depending on the size of the battery and the make and the model of the battery that you put on this drone. But everything looks pretty good. You have all this plug and play motor wires that goes into the flight controller here. At the bottom here, which is pretty cool, you have really good access to this micro USB for BetaFlight. The only thing though I wish it had, although it might add weight, is just some, let's see, did they include them? No, usually you see some like pads for the bottom so that once this lands, it doesn't damage the carbon fiber at the bottom. Usually you have a little leg on here or a pad to prevent them from damage. Now, it's pretty interesting that, you know, iFlight would name this the baby Nazgul Nano, only because the Nazgul name is synonymous with a pretty good quality drone. Nothing but praise. I think they're on the second iteration of the Nazgul 5, and it seems to be the standard for 5-inch or entry 5-inch drones. Talking about that, as I said, this looks like a toy. The smallest drone I've ever flown was one of these. This is one of, I would say, a toy drone as well. I bought this in a store in a mall and it flew pretty good, but this thing is really a toy. And honestly, this feels very similar in weight. If you look at the size comparison here, you can see they're very similar in size. Probably slightly bigger here, but it's impressive. This thing flew pretty good, only for indoors. There's no camera on this, first of all. You have a cheap joystick or controller radio on this. The range isn't that great. To have something here with brushless motors, this thing has all the components of a traditional drone. You have a flight controller, you have built-in ESCs, you have a VTX on top here, you have a camera in the front here, and you have carbon fiber all over. So to have all the components of a traditional drone in this, the size smaller than the palm of my hand, is really impressive. We'll see how it flies, guys. In the next couple of videos, I'll be doing a setup and the first flight. So if you're interested in those videos, hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I do drop those videos. So yeah, guys, what do you think about this drone? Do you think it's gonna fly good? Do you think it's worth it? It's not that pricey, very, very, I think, affordable. And for the quality and the components of this drone, I think it's a real good bargain. This could be a really fun drone. If you want to fly, I would say probably not indoors because these propellers aren't guarded, but also because the angle of the camera is so high, you would need a really good tilt to fly level. And probably not recommended for indoors, but probably in your backyard, this would be the perfect drone. You don't want to go to a park or something, you just stay in your backyard. This would be a good drone for that. And these propellers are so small, I doubt they'll make a lot of noise, but I don't know. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you have any questions about this little drone here, I still have questions as well. I have to do the setup on this. I'll be doing it right now. And there will be some questions, so hopefully if you have questions, leave them down below. I will answer those. And if you haven't done so already, as I said before, consider subscribing. You'll be notified whenever I do drop a new video, guys. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Look, arguably the smallest, the tiny. It's cool just looking at this stuff, guys. Acro drone on the market. Let's take a look. This is gonna be fun.